Good afternoon, my dear students. I hope you all are fine. Students, today I'm going to start a new lesson from your maths textbook, that is shapes, space and patterns. And believe me children, this lesson is going to be a really interesting one as it is related to all about shapes, space and patterns which we see all around us in our real lives. So students, let us start learning. What are we learning today? In this lesson, we are going to learn 5 interesting topics that are flat shapes, solid shapes, patterns, symmetry, and the last one, tilings. So children, are you all ready to learn? So then let us start learning. Introduction. Children, before I start with the first topic of this chapter, I wanted to tell you about the straight lines and curved lines, as our shapes are made up of straight lines and curved lines. What is a straight line? A line which is straight in nature is called a straight line. Example you can see of this line which is completely straight and there is no bend in it. Now what is a curved line? A bent line which is not straight is called a curved line. Example, you can see the picture. This curved line has a curve or a bend in the middle. So children, we have to remember that a curved line will never be straight and it will have a bend either in the middle of the line or it could be anywhere in between of the line. So we also know that a straight line is of three types: vertical line, horizontal line and diagonal line, also called as slanting line. Now look at the examples of these three types of line. Look at this line. This line is straight and this straight line, completely straight, is called as vertical line, and the line in the sleeping position is called as the horizontal line, and a diagonal line is nothing but the slanting line which is slant in nature. So it could be in this direction or it could be in the other direction also, but remember it will not be a vertical one or the horizontal line. Now this is obvious that it's a curved line since this has a curve. So children, now you all know what are straight lines and curved lines. So let us start with our first topic of this chapter. Flat shapes. A closed two-dimensional or flat figure is called a plane shape or a flat shape. That means all the 2D, the two-dimensional figures are called as the flat shapes. All flat shapes are described by two things, that is a side and a corner. A side is a straight line that makes the part of the shape, and a corner is where the two sides meet. So children, before we know more about a side and a corner, first let us know what are the basic flat shapes. The basic flat shapes are square, circle, rectangle and a triangle. These are the four basic flat shapes. Now let us see what is a side and what is a corner. In the first figure, this figure is called, the first one is called as the square. In this square, this part of the shape is called as the side, and when the two sides meet, the point, the meeting point is called as the corner. So like this, if we see, there are four sides, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and hence there are four corners also, 1, 2, 3, 4. So square has four sides and four corners. Now coming to the next figure, this is circle. In circle, we cannot see a side because a side is a straight line that makes the part of the shape, and here in circle we cannot see a straight line. So when we don't have a straight side, then we don't have a corner also, because a corner is when the two sides meet. So a circle has 0 sides and 0 corners. Now coming to the next figure, this is called as rectangle. In rectangle, we have four sides, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have four corners also, 1, 2, 3, 4. The rectangle has four sides and four corners. Children, you can observe that in square and in rectangle, the sides and corners are same, that is 4 and 4 and 4 here. Then what is the difference between both the figures? In square, the length of all the sides you can see are same. Or you can also say that in square, all the sides are of same length. But whereas in rectangle, the length of the opposite sides are same. Here, this length and this length will be same, and the length of this side and this side will be same. So remember children, this is very important to remember for you, as it can help you to differentiate between these two figures. Now the last figure is called as a triangle, and in triangle we can see it is formed by three sides. So it has three sides and three corners. 1, 2, 3. So a triangle has three sides and three corners. So now we know what are flat shapes. Let us see some real life examples of flat shapes. Real life examples of flat shape. How many circle shaped things can you say? In real life, we can see a donut, a wheel, a clock in the shape of a circle. How many square shaped things can you say? We can see a window, the surface of a table, and a tile in the shape of a square. How many rectangle shaped things can you see? We can see a blackboard, a notebook, a door in the shape of a rectangle. And how many triangle shaped things can you say? We can see a pizza piece, a signboard, and snacks also in the shape of a triangle. And not only this, we can see many things from our real life which resembles to the flat shapes. Solid shapes. The three-dimensional figures which occupy space are called as solid shapes. Children, the three-dimensional figures can also be called as 3D figures, and these 3D figures are nothing but the complete objects, and these objects occupy some space and they are not flat. We are talking about the complete objects. So these objects are called as solid shapes. Let us see the basic solid shapes. Cube, cuboid, sphere, cone, and cylinder. These are the basic examples of solid shape. Let us see some real life examples of solid shapes. A birthday cap is in the shape of a cone. A football is in the shape of a sphere. A Rubik's cube, which we love to play, is in the shape of a cube. The gas cylinder is in the shape of a cylinder, and a gift box is in the shape of a cuboid. So children, now we know how the shapes, whether it is flat shapes or solid shapes, how they are there in our real life. How do we describe these shapes? All solid shapes are described by three things, that is face, edge, and corner. Let us learn these three things. The surface of a solid shape is called its face. The edge is where the two faces meet, and a corner is where the three edges meet. So let us understand this children by taking an example of a cube. In this figure, you can see this part of the shape. That means this surface is called as the face. So likewise, we may have more faces in cube, and when the two faces meet, a line is formed, and that meeting line is called as the edge. So an edge is where the two faces meet. Likewise, we may have more edges in cube, and a corner is the meeting point of the three edges. So when the three edges meet, a corner is formed. Let us understand here more clearly. If these two surfaces meet, the meeting point, the meeting line is called as the edge. So likewise, we may have number of edges in cube, and this part of the cube is called as the face. So we may have more than one face, and also we may have more than one corner. So children, we will learn this, how many faces, edges and corners the solid figures has, but remember the note point. A corner is also called as a vertex, and if we have more than one vertex, it is called as vertices. So children, now let us learn the number of faces, edges and corners the solid figure has. Cube. Faces 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 faces. Corners 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 corners. Edges 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 edges. So the figure cube has 6 faces, 8 corners and 12 edges. Now the solid figure cuboid. Faces 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 faces. Corners 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 corners. Edges 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 edges. Children, you can observe that the solid figure cube and cuboid has the same number of faces, corners and edges. Now let us see for the solid figure sphere. In the solid figure sphere, it is only having one curved surface. So we can say it has only one face, but there is no edge and no corner, because edge is formed when the two surfaces meet, and here we only have one surface, so we cannot have an edge and we cannot have a corner also. So the figure sphere has one face, zero edge and zero corner. Now coming to the solid figure cone. Faces 1, 2. 2 faces. Corner only one. One corner. Edge, one edge. An edge is formed when the two surfaces meet. So here in cone we have only one edge. Now coming to the next solid and the last figure, that is cylinder. Cylinder. Faces 1, 2, 3. 3 faces. Corners 0, nowhere a corner. Edge 1, 2. 2 edges. So children, now we know how many number of faces, edges and corners the solid figure has. The solid figure cube has 6 faces, 12 edges, 8 corners, and is the same with cuboid also. Cube and cuboid has the same number of faces, edges and corners. But whereas sphere has only one face, 0 edge and 0 corner, the solid figure cone has 2 faces, 1 edge and 1 corner, and the solid figure cylinder has 3 faces, 2 edges and 0 corner. So remember children, all these number of faces, edges and corners, and try to do the exercise 8A in your textbook. Children, now you know what are the two-dimensional figures and what are the three-dimensional figures. The two-dimensional figures are the plane figures and the three-dimensional figures are the solid figures. So now we are very well aware of plane figures and solid figures.